arrived, and I am honored, privileged, blessed, and first and foremost, let me take time out to welcome each and every one of you to the GMAP Broadcast Network. We are the number one faith-based, motivational, and inspirational broadcast platform in the country. And as you can tell, we have this awesome young lady here with us today. And her name is Sarah Grace. You know what? I'm not going to do that. Let me start off by asking her, good afternoon, how are you doing?
Hi, Kevin. I'm great. How are you?
Oh, please, if you have to ask me, I must be slipping. I tell you, I am wonderful. Well,
Good.
welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network, first and foremost, and thank you for accepting the invitation to be here with us today, and of course, to become a part of our broadcast network family, and also allowing us to be a part of your awesome journey. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from. Who is Sarah Grace?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it. So, I am Sarah Grace, and I'm from the Chicagoland area. And I wrote my first children's book called The Adventures of Nikki and Charlie, and we're here to talk a little bit about that today. I haven't always been an author. I've done a lot of different things, but this was sort of a passion project that kind of developed organically, and I've been excited to get it out to kids and have them really enjoy it.
Well, you know what? I am just so overwhelmed with joy over the fact that you had this passion to release what you have for the viewers and listeners and for the public, for children. Let me start off, Sarah, by asking you. Now I know it's kind of difficult sometimes because we can see you, but you can't see me. That's my that's my thing right now. But my studio is almost complete, so you'll be looking at me soon. But tell us, how did it all begin? I mean, what's the root foundation for the adventures of Nikki and Charlie? How did it all come about for you, if you don't mind sharing?
Of course. So it's kind of funny. I years ago was a nanny for my cousin and her children, right? So it was a hot summer day. She had two little boys, and we're all sitting in the backyard, and they're like, "We're bored, tell us a story." So I just kind of made one up. I, sort of based it on the two of them, but changed the names. Um, their names are Colin and Nolan, and I just changed it to Nikki and Charlie. And then really based it on games that we played as kids. So when we were little, we played a game where every time you jumped through the sprinkler, it would transport you to a new land, different magical land, unicorns or dinosaurs or whatever. And so I told this to the boys, and they loved it. They were like, "Tell us another Nikki and Charlie story. Tell us another Nikki and Charlie story." So I was like, maybe it's a good story. So I wrote it down, and then of all times during COVID, my husband was like, maybe we should actually try to publish it. I think other kids would really like it. So we just got connected with KMP Entertainment and Mia Vasquez, my illustrator, who they were fabulous to work with, and it all kind of came to fruition. And here we are, just trying to get the word out.
Wow. Well, I tell you, that's amazing, and I must say you did an outstanding job, and I'm grateful for that. As you look at those times when the children were around saying, "Tell us another Nikki and Charlie story." Okay, has it ever come about to you asking yourself, "Now what? What am I going to do now? Where does it go from here?" And if it did come to your mindset, what was your response to that?
Could you repeat the question, Kevin? You broke up a little bit.
I'm sorry. I did that.
It's
That
okay.
was my fault. Hold on one second. I want to find out um, when they were hanging around saying, "Tell us another Nikki and Charlie story," and we enjoyed it, and you looked over those moments and look at where you are today. Has it ever come about to where you're asking yourself, "Now what? What's next for Nikki and Charlie? What's next for author Sarah Grace?" What was your response to that?
Yes, we I've been talking about that a lot lately, actually. Um, and it's all kind of come out so fast and ramped up, so to speak. Really, just trying to get this first book out there. That I do have some ideas, and in fact, there's a little teaser at the end of the first book that gives you a little hint about what the second book is about. I just need to sit down and write it. So, I've been so busy promoting this one that. We haven't gotten that one on paper yet, but it's definitely something that could be in the works for the boys.
Wow, and thank you for that.
Mhm.
So, if someone, of course, wanted to go out, Sarah, today, and I know there's going to be some viewers and listeners that are chimed in right now, and or may even take a look at the rebroadcast, and they say, "Hey, well, I'm kind of excited about that. I want to get a little bit more information and get some details about that particular publication as well as those that are yet to come, and they want to reach out to you. What would be the process for them to want to do something like that?
Way to get in touch with me is definitely through my website, which is sarah-grace-books.com. There you'll find my contact information. You'll find the link to order the book, and just a little bit more background information, reviews, all that kind of good stuff. So sarah-grace-books.com. It's also available on Amazon. Just if you search The Adventures of Nikki and Charlie through the sprinkler, it's on there as well.
And we will definitely not let them forget. If they don't know, they know now that it's also available on the GMAP Broadcast Network. Us down here in the lower left hand corner in small print, we're here, but sometimes small print is the most important print on the paper. So, of course, we want to make sure that they don't forget about that. And by all
Definitely.
means, if you didn't know, now you know that Sarah is one of our featured children's authors on our broadcast network site. You can always stop by gmap1.com. Click on the tab that is simply titled Children's Featured Authors. You will see a copy of the publication there in that area, and we want you to click it. It will take you to the necessary location to find out more
Mhm.
intimate details and information about this awesome publication. Listen, stay right there. I'm going to quickly, I want to show them this one more time.
The Adventures of Nikki and Charlie is a fun, imaginative book that takes me back to my own childhood memories. Very relatable and nostalgic. Like the candy place because it reminded me of a dream. This story is based on games from her childhood in Pennsylvania. She hopes to inspire imagination. Their eyes lit up when we got to the picture of the first magical world.
I just felt that it was necessary for me to do that. And of course, once again, we are excited. We are grateful, honored, privileged, and blessed to have Sarah here with us on today, as well as the GMAP Broadcast Network family. And of course, we know that you possibly have a social presence. So we want to
Mhm.
make sure that all of our viewers and listeners would reach out to you, whether it be through social media, encourage you, let you know that they appreciate what you're doing. But I must say this: if you make a decision to go and order your copy through locations such as Amazon, we want you to take a few extra moments and leave a review. It is so very important that you leave a review. It's important for Sarah. It's important for myself. It's important for Amazon. And it's important for others to know what you think, how you feel, and of course, if you wanted to share it with your other followers, family, and friends, by all means, we encourage you to do that. So please take a few extra moments and leave a review. Now, I don't want you to really give it away, but I do want you to tell us a little bit about the content that's in this particular publication.
Oh, sure. So, one thing I'll say off the bat is that when we were designing the characters, my illustrator, Mia, who did a fabulous job, the goal was to make it look like a child drew it. So we wanted it to look like, the boys were playing outside, they were using their imaginations and having all this fun. And then when they come inside, they draw the pictures of what they were doing and slap them on the fridge. That's the kind of vibe we're looking for. And I think it really comes through in the artwork. So it's really fun. It's really simple. It's really bright. And so the book itself is a little bit, it's sort of like what I've spoken about already, where the boys are hot on a summer day and they're bored. So mom drags the sprinkler out of the garage and says, have fun, use your imaginations, really trying to encourage kids going outside and playing and using their imaginations instead of just being stuck behind a screen all day. So the boys basically jump through the sprinkler to find that they are transported to all these different magical lands. And so there's that the book kind of walks you through those different lands and the excitement that happens in each of those lands. And then, brings them back to reality and gives you that little teaser about the next book. So it's cute. I think the kids that have read it so far have seemed to really enjoy it.
Now, can you see this publication and even future publications being in places like schools around the world?
Absolutely. That is definitely a goal. I'm starting locally with my children's schools first, just trying to get in and maybe do some readings. With COVID, it's all kind of touch and go depending on what people are doing right now, if they let people come in and do readings and whatnot. But I'm definitely starting that process.
Hmm. Well, don't forget about us. We're right around the corner and up the street from one another, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that some children in this area will definitely benefit from having copies of this publication as well as the school system. And I got an inside track. I didn't say that publicly, but I got an inside track. But I am so honored and I'm grateful for your presence here today. And of course, you've already kind of you've given it away to what's next. But is there additional avenues that you're very interested in traveling? And I guess I'm asking you that because there may be some things that you did not mention, but you may be interested in doing somewhere down the line. What comes to mind?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I think that this story could lend itself well to a lot of things, cartoons, movies, merchandise, all that kind of stuff. So, that's certainly something my team and I would be willing to explore down the road.
Okay. And this particular publication was officially released when?
Just this past spring in May of 2022.
May 22. So we have a long way to go. We have
Yes.
a long way to go in order to really bring this to the presence of people. And I just want you to know that I am here to do any and everything that I can in order to assist you and in any way, shape, form, or fashion to make sure that we disseminate this information to as many people as possible. You have the number. We want you to use it. I don't mind using yours, so I don't want you to mind using mine. Call me, let us know what we can do to assist you. And I also want you to know that the answer will always be yes, and you will never, ever have to ask me twice. It's just
Thank you,
that
Kevin.
simple. Now, before I let you go out, I do want you to have your closing remarks and final words here. But before we do that, I want you to just kind of, if you don't mind, go through that information one more time. Let us know where the book is available and how it is. What's the process if someone wanted to reach out to you on a more individual basis?
Definitely. I think the best place would be the website for sure. It's got contact information and the link right on the front of it to order. So just go to sarah-grace-books.com. And like you said, there's that link to get to my website on your website, which is great under children's authors. So sarah-grace-books.com. And if you need to get in touch with me or if you want to order a copy, that's the best way to do it.
Well, I'm going to move over. I'm going to allow you to share with all of our viewers and listeners around the world what's on your heart. And it's simplified. It's something that we want you to share with our viewers and listeners based on the way you're feeling and what you think is the necessary process for them to take when they do go out and order a copy of this. So, Sarah, I'm moving over, and officially the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate having the chance to talk about my book in this venue, and I appreciate your support for sure. So, I would say it's been a long journey. There's way more involved in publishing a book and promoting a book than I ever thought there would be. So I'm so grateful for all the support and interest in the book. Being able to have a platform to be able to discuss it and having people who actually want to buy it and read it, it touches my heart, and I feel so grateful for that support. I feel really lucky. So I would say, if you're looking for a fun children's book that is also enjoyable to adults, it's very nostalgic because it kind of takes you back to your own childhood. But it's fun to read with your kids because then it gives them that want and need to, Mom, let's go outside. Let's go play in our sprinkler and see where it takes us. I think it really encourages that. It encourages that imagination. It encourages their own need to be creative and to, make up their own games. And when my own daughter read it, and she's into drawing a lot, she likes to be an artist. She was like, "Oh, can I help you draw the second one?" I think she really related to how the pictures looked like a child drew it. So I think it promotes, creativity, it promotes individuality, it promotes imagination, and it's just a cute, fun book. So if you feel so inclined, please check it out at sarah-grace-books.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I really appreciate your time today, and God bless everybody.
Well, you know what? Before I let you go, do you have any suggestions or recommendations for maybe some of our young up and coming wannabe authors of children's books or even books? Would you have any suggestions or recommendations for them?
Yes. One thing I have learned firsthand is to take classes. If you can, take classes about everything that goes into it. I was fortunate enough to be able to take a master writing class that was super helpful through KMP Entertainment. Just the information that you don't know that you don't know. If you have no experience in this field, there's a lot. And so it's super important to educate yourself about what goes into it and the time commitment and, the cost involved on the front end. The writing, I would say, if you are a good writer and you have a story and you want to tell it, like, that's awesome. And I would say go for it. I think, the most important thing is to educate yourself on the process. And there's a lot of resources out there, a lot of groups that are willing to help, and, a lot of different ways that you can go about it. There's, been a much more of a draw toward self-publishing these days as opposed to traditional publishing, which is an option too. But definitely do your research, I think, is probably my parting words.
Sarah Grace, one of our featured children's authors here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. We encourage you to stop by our broadcast platform, click on that tab that simply is titled Children's Featured Authors. You will see a copy of the publication there, and we want you to click on it. It will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author, as well as the publication, and you'll find out more about what's next. Sarah, we can't thank you enough for being here with us today, and we're looking forward to, of course, inviting you back, seeing how things are going, and trying to assist you along the way. We thank you for allowing us to be a part of this journey. So until next time, we want you to have a fantabulous rest of your day. If there's anything that we can do to assist you along the way, just simply let us know, okay?
I will. Thank you so much, Kevin. Have a great day.
You as well.
The Adventures of Mickey and Charlie is a fun, imaginative book that takes me back to my own childhood memories. Very relatable and nostalgic. Like the candy place because it reminded me of a dream. This story is based on games from her childhood in Pennsylvania. She hopes to inspire imagination. Their eyes lit up when we got to the picture of the first magical world.